Welcome to the WrestleMania 41 card. What if the WrestleMania 41 card was the original one we saw in the Netflix leak? Remember, I am trying to get WWE's attention as an autistic person for a backstage meet and greet. If you were here for that, or if you're here for the list, I thank you. But now let's begin our WrestleMania 41 clip. Let's look at this list. Now, I am having problems reading that on the computer. You're probably having problems reading it too. I have it pulled up on my phone. I'm sure you can find this. I found this on eWrestling News. Also, the podcast Smart Guy Moment went over the list, and I think they got a little bit more than what my list is, but let's just go over what it says. So the WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena happened. Roman Punk and Seth happened. Although mine says in verse, Smart Guy Moment did say it might have been Punk or Rollins. And if it was Punk or Rollins against Roman, I think the Heyman thing kind of plays out the same between Roman and Punk. But we have a good old fashioned barber with Roman and Seth. They deserve to have their WrestleMania match. Now, this might be another one Sparkle Moment said was an or. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Gunther. In that case, I own if it's a triple threat match. First off, well, actually, let's go if it's 1-on-1. I think Punk would beat Gunther, but I'm not so sure about Seth. Like, because he doesn't turn heel. I don't know if he has the momentum enough to win. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that Gunther one time off, so I guess maybe there's a possibility. But a triple threat match, CM Punk would totally win. We got Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, which is what we got in the inclusion of Io Sky. I'm assuming that Rhea Ripley is the champion heading into this match. So I'm assuming that uh, Rhea is probably going to lose it because Bianca would probably at that point continue her kayfabe undefeated streak. Yes, I was at WrestleMania 35. I saw her go over the top rope. But WWE, on your part, congratulations for actually being honest on the pre-show. You mentioned that. We have Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. So I assume Nia is the champion. And I guess that Jade Cargill doesn't get attacked in this storyline. Potentially, she is the one who wins the Women's Royal Rumble. Uh, by the way, Jey Uso's not on this card, so I believe John Cena would have won the Royal Rumble in that situation. Now, I would say Jade Cargill does beat Nia Jax in that situation. And I'd be really interested if we had a Survivor Series match because I picked Bianca and Jade, but that's a story for another time. We got Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, which we know Kevin Owens is injured. So this was planned for a while. I believe an RKO out of nowhere would take down Owens. We have the Wyatt Six versus the Judgment Day. And here's an interesting part that Fightful.com and Smart Guy Moments analyst Robert DeFelice had mentioned. What version of the Judgment Day are we getting? Are we getting Dom, Finn, JD, and Damien? Or is Damien replaced by Carlito? I assume it was the Finn, Dom, JD, Carlito version, but I don't really. I said this since the day one. Y6 has never really done it for me. Although I was just thinking, I was watching NXT and I saw Joe Hendry, and I'm like, we should have Bo Dallas versus uh, Joe Hendry in a Believe match. But that's not what we're talking about. Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Io and Asuka. So I would assume Io and Asuka are the champions heading into this instead of Liv and Raquel. And I would say that the same thing plays out with Becky Lynch winning a tag team title here. Does she turn the next night on Charlotte? I don't know. I'm just reading this list. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul was the match we did get. Bad Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio changes that. That's why I believe Robert DeFelice was thinking that that was Damian Priest in the Judgment Day because this match is on here. I think this would be so fun, and I think that WWE should definitely do Bad Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio with Bad Bunny winning in this instance, but a different instance it would have been it could be Dom is what I'm saying. So this is a little cut off, but we got Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre. Don't know how they would have got this, but Braun Breaker, yes, he did lose his first WrestleMania match, but he hasn't had a singles match at WrestleMania. So I believe Braun would have beat Drew in that match. It was just singles because I think next year if we get perhaps Braun and Seth breaking up and having Braun beat Seth, it's gonna be his first singles victory at WrestleMania. And then we got Rey Mysterio with question mark versus Chad Gable on my list. I feel like SmackDown Moment had a couple more, so if you want to check out their hot takes of the week, you can do that. But Chad Gable, I think, would have won anyway. I did predict that. He was going to beat Rey Mysterio before the match got canceled. And this is your story for WrestleMania. So, thank you for joining me. And what do you think? Is this a better card or is it a worse card? I think we got the best of both worlds where we got a little bit of this and a little bit of not this. But in the meantime, stay nice for disability rights.